Good evening and welcome to this live broadcast of News Watch tonight on Hope TV as I give you the latest updates on stories happening in the country. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Now, as political temperatures continue to rise in the country, church leaders from different bodies have come out to add their voice on the current state of affairs in the country. The Governing Council of Kenya National Congress of Pentecostal Churches and Ministries, KNCPC, and the heads of churches and ministries under the Kenya Council of Church Alliances and Ministries in separate press conferences have strongly condemned the abusive language towards the president, his deputy, and Mama Ngina Kenyatta. The two groups have also expressed their concern on the current stalemate in the Senate in the determination on the revenue allocation for counties. Here's Alice Diana with this report.
Okay.
A section of religious leaders have raised their voice over the current happenings in the country, calling for sobriety, especially in matters peace and coexistence, and the revenue-sharing formula stalemate. Addressing the press on Friday, the Governing Council of Kenya National Congress of Pentecostal Churches and Ministries, KNCPC, led by Bishop Dr. Stanley Mishuki, and the heads of churches and ministries under the Kenya Council of Church Alliances and Ministries, KCCAM, led by Bishop Kefa Omae, separately slammed politicians for issuing utterances that could pose threat to the country's unity following recent statements by Kapseret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi and his Emruadikir counterpart Johanna Ngeno, saying such actions could lead the country back to the 2007-2008 post-election violence.
During this second term of Jubilee administration, we have seen increased use of abuse language towards the presidency, both the president and his deputy. We must respect the presidency because it holds the country together. The increased character assassination, disrespect, and name-calling has caused tension in the country and divided the people.
We wish to condemn in the strongest terms possible the irresponsible and unfortunate remarks made by a cross-section of political leaders directed to our president and the presidency. In particular, we were concerned by the insults directed on the founding mother of the nation. We equally condemn the remarks made by some of the political leaders against the deputy president. We have further witnessed some of the leaders from either sides inciting the public while protecting their own agitations instead of settling their political differences.
The ongoing revenue-sharing formula stalemate has also caught the men of cloth's attention, with both groups urging senators to hasten dialogue and resolve the matter amicably so as to save the counties which are now facing a cash crunch.
Ni kuwasihi maseneta wetu katika mbunge la Senate waweze kufanya upesi, kufanya haraka, wajadiliane na wakubaliane kuhusu ngawaji wa fedha ambazo zinapaswa kwenda katika kaunti zetu. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu sasa kazi ya counties inaendelea kusimama na mambo mengi sana yamekwama.
Through the Council of Governors, counties have threatened to shut services by mid-September if the revenue-sharing stalemate is not resolved and allocations released to the devolved units from the National Treasury.
People are dying, people are going home, no service going on. And yet, the politicians at the Senate are still bickering. This should come to an end immediately.
Following the rising cases of corruption in the country, which touch on high-profile government officials, the church leaders have urged relevant authorities to continue acting swiftly by bringing all perpetrators to book, with the same church leaders pleading with President Uhuru Kenyatta to ensure the proposed referendum is held after the 2022 general elections, following the current political temperatures in the country.
We are deeply concerned and seriously disturbed by reports of abuse of resources meant to combat the COVID-19 pandemic and other corruption-related incidences that have been exposed and are in the public domain. We wish to declare, as church leaders, our support for the ongoing efforts to bring all culprits to book.
We appeal and request the president to go slow on this referendum agenda because the country is already too emotional to do. and meaningful debate on the referendum. Secondly, any referendum now will be too close to the general elections, and it will be like holding two general elections.
Wakenya wanataka wakati wa kujaliana na kukumbaliana ili tukienda kufanya referendum, tufanye referendum kulingana na vile tutakuwa tumeelewa na nini kinabadilishwa katika referendum.
The recent remarks by a section of politicians on the presidency has continued to elicit mixed reactions, with now the Kenya National Congress of Pentecostal Churches calling on politicians to stop displaying their personal feelings in public. For Hope TV News Watch at Calvary Temple in Buruburu, I'm Alice Diana.